So what's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into ranking all my purple palettes. So if you know anything about me or this channel, you know I am a purple palette connoisseur. I love purple, I love blue, I love green, I love pink, I love blue, greens, and purples mainly though. And the color I use the most, I will have to say, is purple, and then blue, and then green, and probably pink last. So with that being said, I figured it'd be fun to rank all of my purple palettes since, you know, since I love purple so much, I would be a connoisseur and the person to turn to when it comes to a purple palette because I own so many. So we're gonna rank 12 of my purple palettes. I think it's one that I don't really talk about that brand as of right now, so I'm not gonna talk about that palette. So that's why we got 12. Otherwise we'd have 13. So that tells you my love of purple is strong. So let's get started. So number 12 is the Nubian Royal palette from Juvia's Place. My honest only real issue with this is the pressed glitter. So that's why I went at dead last, because I love this shade right here. I love this dual crayon right here. And I think the rest of the mattes in here are fine. I just wish they had gave us another shimmer or another matte instead of this pressed glitter. So with that being said, that's why this is dead last. Has nothing to do with the quality, it has to do with the pressed glitter. I had to rank them according to the way I would use them, and realistically I don't really reach for that one at all because of the pressed glitter, so I was like, I'm gonna just be real myself. Okay, so number 11 is the Lavender palette from Viseart. Now although I like the color story of this, it's just, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed with it compared to the Violet palette, but they have a whole palette of purple. So this is like a little quad that they made for $25 for the people who didn't want to spend the $44 on the bigger one, and I just feel like the bigger one is better, so you'll see that later on. But this was the best out of all three of the ones I tried, and I feel like this wasn't that great, so that's why it is number 11. I have better purples in my collection that I reach for quite often, so that one gonna be acceptable. Okay. So number 10 is Cashmere Forever from Colourpop. I just have color stories I like better than this, and realistically when I think of purple palettes, I don't think to reach for this one. But it's not like it has bad quality. I'm trying not to hold it a certain way because this shimmery shade right here is broken. But the quality of it is just fine. It's just more of when you have as many purple palettes as I do, and I just told you I have like 12. It's like I don't really think to reach for this because it's a 5-pan. If it was more like the bigger palettes, like the 9-pans and stuff you're going to see later on, then, you know, maybe I'd think about it more. But because of its size, I don't think about it. Next, I have the Kaleidos, what is this? Lunar Lavender palette. So the quality on this just isn't as good as my Astral Pink. And Astral Pink is my favorite one of these from them. So since the quality wasn't that great, I do still like the shimmer formula. It's just like the purples were a little bit difficult to work with. But I still like it better than the other palettes I showed you just because of the shimmer formula. And the fact that it has a little bit of a unique color story to it that the other ones don't. Like I have this shade to airbrush in the crease, or I can use this to airbrush in the crease if I'm looking to make it more vampy and smoky. And then I can use this, I mean on the outer V, and then I can use this in my crease and whatnot. So that's why this one got ranked a little bit ahead at number 9, but it wasn't anything where I was just like, oh my goodness, yes. So I rarely if ever reach for this one too, which is, if you haven't noticed, the stuff on the bottom is the stuff I'm not gonna realistically reach for. From here on out is stuff I would actually reach for, and it's just an importance of how often I reach for this more than the other things that we're about to talk about. So number 8 is, or is this number 7? I think this is number 7, sorry. This is the Special Dark palette from the Hershey Kisses collection. So, I mean, this color story is simply stunning. And this shade alone puts this higher up than all the other palettes because this is a unique purplish shade to my collection. Plus, I love this dual chrome shade right here. And I love the tones of purple it shows, like this unique shade right here. These are the 2 most unique purple shades in my collection from all the purple palettes I'm going to be showing you today. So I put this ahead of those for that reason alone. I think, plus I think it's just a gorgeous color story overall. Like you got this nice shimmer. I feel like there's a nice matte to shimmer ratio in here, and you still have a shimmer to put all over the lid and a shimmer to put in the inner corner. The only thing is, instead of, I don't know, I feel like if there had been one more shade I'd feel a little better, but I know why they couldn't fit in one more shade because of the shape. But I would definitely reach for this over the other ones I just showed you. So number 6, I'm just counting them as like 2 palettes because that's how I use them interchangeably together. So I have It's By Pleasure and Lilac You Would Lie. If you haven't seen them, let me show you. But these are my fresh brand new ones. My friend had bought me one of them or both of them for Christmas because I had ended up dropping mine, and when I ranked all my Colourpop palettes, I ranked all 51 of them. And this is what both of them look like. So this is It's My Pleasure, and this is Lilac You a Lot. And now you see why I use them together, because it's like you get some lighter tones in here when it comes to mattes, and then you deeper shimmers in here, and it's a nice just mixture when you use both the palettes together. So that's why I ranked them both together. Plus I couldn't necessarily decide which one I liked over the other one, and since I use them interchangeably a lot of time together anyway, I figured it was fine. So now let's get into the top 5, girl. Okay, so at number 5 we have the Violets from Juvia's Place. I love this color story so much more than the other one I showed you. It has this weird, unique purplish shade. It has a shade that's somewhat similar to the one in the Special Darks palette from Glam Light, but this one is a little bit lighter than that one. Then I like all the shimmers that are in here too. So I feel like this would be a good companion palette for the Special Darks palette, because it gives you more shimmers to go along with that. So that's a nice little combination, and I really like this palette overall. So that's why it got to be number 5. Number 4, I haven't used that much, but I feel like when it comes to purples, this is just a gorgeous purple palette. This is from the Glam Shop. Look at this. Like, this is stunning. I love this shade right here. They did kind of the way the next 2 palettes I'm going to show you, or the next 3 palettes I'm going to show you, did when it came to the color story. They gave you like those fuchsia-ish pink shades alongside these deep purple shades and somewhat berry tone shades, which I appreciate, because it gives you a little more variety to work with the purples, but you still get a good variety of purples. So I like palettes like that, if you haven't noticed, because those are the ones that you're seeing at the top now, because we're on number 3. I hope you've been counting, girl, because I was not. So number 3 is the Violet palette that I told you all about earlier, and you saw how low the other ones ranked. That's because I feel like this one gives more depth and variety than that one did, but of course it's a 4-pan, so I didn't expect it to give as much, but I expected the formula to be the same, and unfortunately it wasn't, in my personal opinion. So I like this one much better. It is gorgeous. It has this nice reflective shade here. You have this darker row of shades to use. You have some lighter shades, and you have some more neutral mauve-ish tone shades to do everyday look with. So they gave you a good variety of purples to use. For the fun purples at the bottom for the weekend, and then like the more neutral shades with a pop of purple for the daytime. So I like this palette for that reason. Plus it's got the great Viseart quality to it. So number 2 is my Glam Light Wine palette from the Happy Hour collection. I love this palette. Like, the colors in here are so unique and fun. Like, I live for this shade right here. This shade right here alone just makes this palette worth it for me. Then it has these really cool shimmers in it, like this one and this one. And then they gave you, like I said, if you haven't noticed the theme, it's the fuchsia and the berry tones to go along with these deep purple shades that I really love about this palette, which is another reason I put this one toward the top. It's stunning. Plus Glam Light has a really nice formula, and it's quite pigmented, and it doesn't stain as much as the palette that's number 1, but the palette that's number 1 is still my favorite one. I don't care. And that is my Flight Club from Menagerie Cosmetics. This is literally like my all-time favorite purple palette. When I think of purples, I think of this one, then the wine one, and the Viseart one, and then the other 2 I showed you. So my top 5 are the ones I think of the most, along with the Colourpop Lilac You a Lot and It's My Pleasure. But this is what she looks like on the inside. And of course, again, you notice the theme. It has the mauve tones. It has the fuchsia-ish type shades. It has I guess you could consider this a berry shade, I'm not sure. And it has like these shifting dual chrome shimmers that you put on the lid, along with just great bluish purple shifting shades. I absolutely love this palette. This is my number 1 purple palette. I promise you, I love this palette. It's gorgeous, and I have used it at least 4 or 5 times since it came out. And I told y'all before, if I use a palette more than like once, it's a big deal. So if I'm seeking out a palette, I really love it. So those are all of my ranking of all my purple palettes. Let me know down below if you want me to continue this. So I was thinking about doing my blue palettes as well, because y'all know I love a blue moment. I mean, I'm wearing blue right now while we're talking about purple palettes. So we can continue on with breaking all my blue palettes if you'd like. Let me know down below. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.